Well, you know what's known as the Lord's Prayer, dear one, and our Father, the importance from the very beginning of the relationship. Child to parent, he's our dad. We're his child. Hallowed be thy name. This primacy of God's name as Father. Now, it may be that, Divine Mother and dearest friend will do fine, but the story has the prayer in this emphasis, and that may be a cultural influence. We don't know. Rather than divinely registered by God. But then comes very simply, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Well, let me mention first, perhaps, we've just described heaven. It's a place of his perfect, complete will. Wow. How about the on earth, be done on earth as it is in heaven? That's a tricky request. The whole point about here is that it's not heaven, and it gives us opportunity to see good and bad. So, thy will be done would mean, for instance, that the good is God's will. And at least from our childish point of view, we see what happens when persons don't pursue God's will. Well, they get the opposite of what God values, which is fullness of life and goodness of life. In other words, bad things seem to happen to them. Unfortunately, we're in a transitory state here, so that even bad things come to an end and disappear into the past at a phenomenal rate. So it's a very hygienic place in a way. And if we are children, then of course, as being children, I should have said, we trust that he doesn't just leave us in some wild state, experiencing good and evil, but in a nursery where we are protected from evil, difficulties, of course, that help us to learn the difference between good and bad. Training, in other words. Not the reality of true devastating evil, but lessons about it, advice, guidance, and enough taste of things contrary to God's will, having very unpleasant results that repel us from such straying from the straight and narrow. But life is not straight and narrow, it's fullness of life, great variety and experience, but with a great purpose, his will. his family, his children, us. So, when you're wondering about how do you solve this problem, or what's going to happen, or where's provision going to come from, or what happens if, and all the rest of it, how do I choose? Well, we don't. Only in the grand overall sense of we want his will. And it's our act of devotion to live according to the way we see his will unfolding, what's provided, and also what isn't. In short, every detail of life, because he's all-powerful and loves you. Blessed assurance, you see. Brings overwhelming love, hope, joy, peace, wisdom, blessings, abundant life.